Hello! We are here to play a Trophy Dark incursion called Devil of High Rock. It is part of the Dark Tidings collection by Speak the Sky. And this particular Trophy Dark incursion's theme is tale, as in story. I'm Mads, she, they pronouns. I play and run a lot of trophy, both flavors, dark and gold. And I had run this just once before this particular incursion, and I just wanted to run it again because it is October and it is spooky season, so why the hell not? I'm going to go popcorn this over to Sabine.
Hi, my name is Sabine. I use any pronouns. I have played Trophy before, but it's been a while. No, it's not been a while, but it's been spotty. I don't play it as often as Mads does. But I'm looking forward to doing it again because I really like the horror aspect of this game. Yeah. So
My name is Meg, she and they pronouns. I have played zero trophy ever in my life. So mostly I am looking forward to learning this new system and also having some spooky times.
Spooky times indeed. So, we're going to now do a round of cats, going over concept, aim, tone, and subject matter for this particular game and incursion to make sure that we're setting up expectations for the table and to know, like, kind of like where we're going when we play this game. Okay? So, doo-doo-doo. All right. So the game title is again The Devil of High Rock by Speak the Sky. The system is Trophy Dark. So the concept Trophy Dark is a role playing game about a group of doomed treasure hunters entering the haunted spaces of the world. The game tells the story of the treasure hunters' physical and mental descent as they move deeper and deeper into the incursion. Their journey ultimately brings them to ancient ruins that hold the treasure they seek, and monstrous entities also that dwell there. This is not a hopeful story of brave and daring adventurers that slay dragons and drag bags of gold back to town. This is a horror story of entitled pillagers meeting tragic ends. Specifically, monster hunters slay the titular devil and return to celebrate their victory in the village that hired them, only to find that not everything is as it seems. So, media inspirations for this particular incursion are Night on Bald Mountain, its animated adaptations like the 1940s Fantasia and 1987's Robot Carnival, and the 1988 film adaptation of Bram Stoker's The Lair of the White Worm. Aim. You will play treasure hunters motivated by a near impossible goal to seek out riches in the forgotten places of the world. You are not heroes, but entitled or desperate pillagers, there to secure your wants and needs. The treasure hunters are doomed, and they probably won't achieve their goal. They are very likely to die by the end of the game, and watching how they go out is part of the fun. Tone. The tone of Trophy Dark is desperate and often tragic. You will likely encounter conflict or tension between treasure hunters, where characters are encouraged to backstab or betray their companions in pursuit of their goal. Subject matter. This game will be R rated. Your treasure hunters are risk takers willing to make dangerous choices. The game will likely be violent, terrifying, and include scenes of bodily horror and loss of self control. Gameplay itself is highly collaborative and improvisational. Players have a lot of say over the world itself and can introduce story elements that no one, not even the GM, was expecting, and play moves between the fiction and the metagame frequently. The game runs best when everyone feels comfortable offering up their ideas. It uses six-sided dice of two colors, light and dark, to determine the outcome of risky actions. And given the subject matter and tone, we do have safety tools that are available to us on the table. So we have script change, where we can pause and kind of go carefully for whatever we're approaching that seems like it could be triggering or an issue. We can also fast forward if there's something that just we don't need to role play this. Let's just go forward and then go like do a time jump. Or we can rewind after a pause and then say, let's try it in a different direction, like just kind of giving it a different spin away from something that could be possibly unfun in an objectionable way. Okay. We also have the X card, which is available again if something is triggering. Somebody can just do the X card in the chat. Somebody could say X card out loud or do X in the video with their arms, and we will stop play, find out what needs to be X carded, and then move on from that point. Okay? We will never ask why something needs to be X carded. And then finally, we have open door policy. So if at any point you need to just kind of step away for a little bit because of something IRL happening, or if you decide in the middle of the game that this isn't the game for you, that's perfectly fine. Just say that you're taking the open door and just let us know if you're planning on coming back after a few minutes, a scene, or maybe not at all. Okay? We will not ask you why. We also do have lines and veils. Lines are things that we will not include in the game at all. So it's listed on our safety tab that we have in the character keeper. And there's also veils, things that can be mentioned, be part of a backstory, but we fade to black. We won't role play it out fully. And it's just something that appears in the game, but we will not dwell on it. Okay? So given that, we're going to go ahead and pause the recording, and we're going to go through some character creation. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and introduce the characters and begin gameplay in earnest. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording. All right, our players have created their characters, so I'm just going to ask them in the order of the character keeper to introduce them. Okay? So Meg, please introduce us to your character.
I will be playing Corvus. They, them pronouns. Their occupation is crow. Their background is witness. Their drive is to retire with stories to tell. And I took the ritual Telltale Heart, which lets you hear someone's sins round them.
Okay. And Sabine, please introduce us to your character.
Yes, I will be playing Haju. Pronouns are he, they. Haju's occupation is toad. Their background is priest. Their drive is to silence their courtly enemies, and their ritual is gullet, to swallow an unwanted truth. Yes, truth is not great.
We'll see. Truth is malleable in this particular incursion, as we'll find out. So each of the characters starts off with their occupation and background, which provides them with skills that they're going to be able to use when we start working on risk rolls or roles that will determine their outcome of risky actions. Okay? So the way that trophy is set up for Trophy Dark is that it has a 5-ring structure. Each of the characters will go through the rings, and we will watch as they descend mentally and physically. So, see how this goes. All right. Again, the Devil of High Rock. Theme is a tale. Generally, trophy incursions start with a poem. In this case, this has an introduction. You killed the Devil of High Rock, the fiend who imprisons folks' souls up on the pinnacle that stands in the midst of the Black Forest all around here. You were hired by the people in the village below to save them by killing him. At least, you think you did. Now you're back at the tavern, celebrating with the villagers, telling tales of your exploits on the rock. But things don't quite add up. What if you, your achievements, and this whole bedeviled situation aren't quite what they seem? This incursion will take you back through your own stories. Back to the pinnacle. Back to face the devil again. The villagers are grateful, but they'll be ever so much more if you can convince them just how brave you are. And maybe you can reason out an explanation for the uncanny atmosphere you've felt ever since you returned. Ring 1. The beginning. The hunters emerge from a merry stupor, rather unsteadily, still in the tavern. There are slivers of star-black glitter between the window shutters. The innkeeper stokes the fire as the villagers crowd around to ask questions of the heroes who killed the devil of High Rock. What rumors you heard of the devil before you came here? Were they true? What rumors have you heard?
I heard he was as big as a building, hairy as a goat, horns the size of plows. And they were all true. He's fierce to look at, teeth long, eyes glowing yellow. And we took him down.
I heard that he had a beautiful voice, that he could sing a man's heart into feeling rage or despair. And I mean, yeah, that was also, it wasn't quite true. It wasn't exactly beautiful, but it was very, very enchanting, I'd say. And when he stoked rage in our heart, that was maybe not such a good idea, actually, I think.
You think you would have known better, but I guess we were just too wily for him. Too fierce. Wasn't expecting that. He was expecting some cowardly creature that would wait for him to strike them with one blow, but we had too
Crafty.
much grit.
We were crafty. We
Hmm.
outwitted him. We made him use that voice, but it didn't go as he thought it would,
No,
because we knew the stories, right? We knew
we
the
did.
stories.
So we
So
filled our ears with beeswax. And
yeah,
before that, listened to the beautiful song of a lovely lady to keep joy in our hearts.
yeah, we
Right?
did that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
She was quite. I never seen something like her.
Hmm. Surely sent from some angel to help us.
Yes, yes, yes. It was a sign from the sisters,
Mhm.
and that we were rightly placed.
Yep.
Must have been something out of the, the fairy world. The wolves and the bandits stalk through the woods neath High Rock. Tell us again how you got through. What telltale signs gave your stalkers away? How did you play off of each other's strengths to deal with these mundane foes? The wolves and the bandits. Tell us. Tell us how you got through.
But as I said, we're crafty, right, Corvus? We're
Of
good,
course.
and then we set them at each other's throat. Basically, that's what we did.
We did. We were able to retrace our steps, so they were following one set and another was following another set until we made them come upon each other at the prearranged point, because of course we had done scouting during the day, because we know better than just to walk into the woods with not knowing anything. And the wolves, affrighted at the bandits, and the bandits, affrighted at the wolves, tore each other to bits, and we walked away clear.
Mhm. Yes, yes, that is exactly what happened.
Hmm. It was all your idea. I can't take any of the credit.
But you were the one who found the spot and set the trap.
It's true. We make a good team.
Yes, yes, we do. We do.
All of the villagers are crowding around you both. They are eager. They are smiling. They are cheering you on as they fill your mugs full of their special signature ale. You hear a blood-stained ballad sung by tired soldiers and drunkards as they look out into the night. And as you listen to this ballad that may or may not remind you of this woman who you spoke of, with the beautiful song giving you joy in your heart, they actually ask you,
Sounds like it was an easy job in the end.
how did you heroes meet one another? What about your fellow hunter that made you so confident that you'd kill the devil of High Rock?
It's not a story we tell very often. I don't come out as well in it as I would like, but I'm so flushed with success here that I will tell all of you, for I know I can trust you. I'd been fleeing from some small town. I won't tell the name, for some of you may know of it, though it is long gone by now. And a fairy had come upon it and ensorcelled every man, woman, and child, and had forced them to do such vile things that I shall not name. And I alone was able to escape this fairy spell, and I fled. I told you I did not come off well on it, but I fled in a fear of my life, and I ran into.
And to me,
Yeah.
was you came off very well when we met. I must say, I was a bit lost. I had been a had well, I had been at a court as a priest, and but you know, if you're a truth teller like I am, you have enemies at court, right? And they will make your lives untenable. So well, um, I left in search of something that would still the wagging tongues of these cretins. And then I met a Papa, but I am not a wilderness person. I must say this. Like, I'm not. I trusted in the sisters and I prayed, and the sisters, they sent me Corvus, and I knew right away that that they were sent from a higher power to me.
And I had not been much of a person for religion, but I cannot argue with you, for you were exactly who I needed, a truth teller to counter the illusions and the lies of the Fae. I I led you back to my town, and you were for 3 days and 3 nights, you battled with the Fae with your faith and with your truths. And for 3 days and 3 nights, I stood watch and kept the folk off of you, for they were still ensorcelled. Can you tell? And at the end of those 3 days and 3 nights, the Fae was gone, and I am sad, so too were the people, but we remained.
Yes, yes, it was a veritable shame that we could not quite break the spell on these people, but we could break the spell that kept the fairy in the town. It was a challenge of song, but,
And at least other towns were spared that fate.
yes, yes, we the fairy did not come here, hopefully, and but if it did, we would have taken care of that, right?
Of course we would have. That's why we knew that we had to face this devil and
Yes.
protect another town.
Yeah. Yes, that's who we are.
Mhm.
Oh, well, we are so glad that you came upon us and you were able to take on the devil of High Rock. I mean, if not for you, then who?
And there's like a gaggle of young maidens that will hang on to each and every word and again fill your mug full of this beautiful golden ale that just seems to be flowing forever. They will carouse with you. They regale you with some of their fears, some of their concerns, and always, always ending with the gratitude of their village being so glad to have had you arrive and be the ones who took out the devil of High Rock. So ends ring 1. Ring 2. The plateau. This brings you back to the doings at High Rock, at the base. After scaling the base of High Rock, you arrive at a bald plateau. Biting wind racing over the shrubs and boulders and howling forlornly through the treetops below. The pinnacle towers unconquered through the gray sky. And as you look down, you can see another group of hunters closing in on you. And the villagers, back in the present, apologize deeply.
We was desperate to be rid of the devil. We hired more hunters. You lived to tell the tale, though they didn't return, so they mustn't have lived up to their boasts. How did they try and intimidate you?
Asks one of the villagers.
Oh, they came upon us with boastful words, I must say they were, but they were, I think, a little under the influence. They seemed a little stumbly, so I told them that this was that we had been sent by an angel, and they hadn't, and
that they were 5 to our 2, and we're trying to make good of that number, intimidate us, and we were stalwart, for we knew that we had been sent and surely would be glad of their help, which they wished to offer it, but would not be intimidated from our purpose. And they jeered and they boasted and they threatened with their knives, and we would not we would not heed them.
No, we told them that to attack us, to sway us from our purpose would bring the curse of the gods upon them. And that's when we heard the wolves howl.
They didn't, apparently. So perhaps we were simply warned by the sisters that their curse was approaching them. They laughed and they said that, we were fools and delusional and, upon our own head if we go up there and kill ourselves. And they stumbled off laughing. And then I heard the snap, the terrible snap of jaws. We didn't see them again.
No. They should have listened to us.
Yeah, they really should have.
We tried our best.
We did. Foolish.
The rock is treacherous ground. So that's how they died? By wolf?
Yep.
Oh.
We didn't see it, but it seems likely. Yes.
Unless they fled of cowardice and we did not know, but they are not here.
Yeah. Yes. Maybe when they finally met the wolves, they understood that ours was the higher purpose.
I think they are all still intently watching you both as they listen and heed your words. Some will lean on the table uncomfortably close. Others may drape themselves on your back like a burden, like a weight. What do you smell here? It smells like the stink of hypocrisy. What does it smell like? none more revolting than your own.
I think it smells like very fine wine that has gone raw, laced with vinegar or poison, maybe. At least it smells like that to Haju.
It smells like sweat that's stayed too long upon a body and not been washed and is turned rancid and lingers even after the body passes.
No, I will say the smell is exactly like Hippocras, because just fits, right? That is a wine that's laced with spices and sugar and sweet smells, but in between the smell you can almost hear the flies.
Mm.
Do you smell how close the rancidity is? Do you hear the buzzing of the flies, pesky and droning and guilt-ridden? Maybe not. One of the villagers will press in and whisper into your ear, even though it's two separate villagers, two different people. They will whisper into each of your ears, asking the question,
You can tell us. We're all friends here.
you killed the devil of High Rock, after all. What did you do that you're not so proud of? What did you do that you're not so proud of?
I took a job to clear out some minor bedevilment from a farm. And I went and I found nothing. And I went back and said it was larger than they had described, and they'd need to double the money for me to be able to drive it off. And I went and I found nothing again. And I fought the air to make it look good. And I came back and told them that they were safe and demanded a good meal before I went.
For me, when I was at court, I tried to fend off one of my enemies by maybe starting a rumor that the Hippocras that they had brought as a gift for the prince, that it was maybe poison, and people believed it, more than believed it. There, I mean, this is not an enemy I had anymore, but people suspected what I did, so I made more enemies after this one was judged. I did not mean for it to go that far, but the truth was on my lips. I wanted to say it. I wanted to say no, it was just a rumor, it was just a prank, but I swallowed it.
Each of the villagers that had asked you the question, they will move so they are face to face with you. And even though they are so close, they are smiling and listening and talking to you. You can't seem to focus on their face. Their face takes on a rictus grin. Their eyes take on the aspect of complete darkness, and their visage curdles and wrinkles in something you don't necessarily recognize for just a second, and then snaps back to their smiling faces once more. Please take a ruin roll.
That means I roll a dark die and try to be lower than my current ruin, right?
Correct.
Okay. Wow. Well, should have taken more rituals. No, it's a 6.
I rolled a 2.
Okay, so because it matches and it's not higher than your current ruin, you're fine. But Haju, you go up because it is higher than your current ruin. Please tell me, upon seeing the strange hallucination in front of you, how you fall closer to the darkness.
I think for a moment it looks like the face of the man whose death I caused, and that kind of makes me feel like I deserve this, whatever this actually is. I have this guilt sitting in my stomach like a stone, and I know why, but I don't really understand why it comes upon me like this right now. It feels like I've almost been poisoned myself.
As you sit and look, perhaps guilty, stricken, and then just laugh it off along with the villagers who have an unnaturally high laugh for just that moment, piercing your ears, the both of you. A villager pipes up and says, "Must have been tough to reach that plateau." In truth, it was easier than you expected, marked only by embarrassing missteps and the encounter with the other hunters. Which of your deeds on the climb would make for a poor story of skill and heroism? Which of your deeds on the climb would make for a poor story of skill and heroism?
Oh, I know. As I said, Haju is not an outdoorsman, and as we were climbing, there were these really pretty berries. Like they looked like strawberries. They looked like strawberries, or almost like strawberries. They were a bit darker, but I mean, just wood strawberries. They look different. I've heard that. I've heard that. So I picked them. And as I was eating them, and then Corvus told me. Thank you, Corvus. Then Corvus told me that I shouldn't have done that, and the rest is really embarrassing, and I don't want to go into details here.
Our way up had to be paused for a few hours. And I was waiting around for Haju to be disposed again, and flipping my knives and pacing, and I tripped over a rock and twisted my ankle over absolutely nothing, and I am sure I looked an ass. Fortunately, no one was there to see it. You were a little busy.
I think I saw it, but I'm not saying anything. I mean,
Yeah.
we're well.
I bound up my ankle, and I bound up the cut on my arm, and everything was fine. That cut that I'm surely showing off to some of the lovely people hanging around as a battle wound.
I will help you make up a good story about how you received that wound.
I think as you are regaling your set of villagers with the tales from from the rock, not those, not those particular tales. Um, there is an elder in the corner who seems to be regaling little grandchildren or little children of the village with other stories. But the camera will see as this cordial, amiable elder tells these stories, each of the little children that are in the semicircle around them slowly stop chattering, slowly grow silent, and each of their little faces by the end of the tale are masked in horror, and their mouths an open O. So ends Ring 2. Ring 3. The Devil. A suckling pig roasts on a spit. The roar of the tavern crowd drowns out the cry of its surviving sow as a pack of villagers haul up the Devil of High Rock. Not the real thing. Just a badly weathered puppet made of mossy wood, matted fur, and rotted leather. 5 strong farmhands held it aloft and guide its mangy arms about under the tavern's high, sooty rafters. The devil is dead! Devil is dead! Devil is dead! Although as you look on, the both of you, how does it seem uncannily, almost alive?
Its mouth is moving. I'm sure it's a puppet, right? They can move its mouth, but it's moving like it's singing along this little melody song, right? It's probably nothing.
It looks like it's looking into my eyes, and that's just a thing that happens with paintings. Haju's told me that's just the perspective thing. But it looks like it's staring at me and occasionally winking. And it
Haju,
doesn't smell like a puppet. It smells alive.
Haju, I think the mouth is moving. Maybe it's singing to you the song, or the supposed song, of the woman that was the angel that helped give you both hope. What is the song that is made up, is true? What are the words that you hear on the puppet's tongue?
It's like a children's song about the goat man of the rock, the goats of the rock, and about how he will come to get you if you're not nice. And what I hear is it will come to get you if you lie. And I do hate that. It scares me for whatever reason, because the devil is dead. We killed it, didn't we?
We did. We killed it. There's nothing to fear.
Dead as a very dead bird.
Yes.
Corvus,
Yes.
the eyes follow you, regardless of where they bring it, where they parade it around in this tavern amongst themselves, those eyes are still always seeming to be looking at you. What color are they, and who do they remind you of?
They're brown. They're just black buttons. They're just black buttons, but they're brown eyes. And they remind me of my little sibling, little brother. The way they got bigger and bigger as he slowly had less and less food to eat. I didn't see them close. I left. He always wondering when there would be more. And then there wasn't.
I think each of you hear something different as the puppet comes round again, maybe waving its straw fur arms. But you hear something different. Haju, maybe you hear, "We'll come back round to you if you lie." And Corvus, you hear a little boy's voice coming from the mouth. "When will there be more?" Each of you take a ruin roll, please.
This gets easier. A little. But not easy enough. I still got a 6.
I got a 2 again.
Wow.
It's still matching. Somehow Corvus is able to keep it the hell together. I don't know how, but he is. Haju.
Yeah.
What about this? What about what the puppet purports to say that brings you closer to the darkness?
I think I hear, when you have an ambient noise in the background, I hear this always. Always I will hear lie, liar. This accusation. Is this, yeah. Yeah, I think liar is the thing that I hear, and then it means me. Almost recognize the voice, but that can't be. That guy's dead. And it wasn't like he was a nice guy or anything.
Not at all. The villagers cavort in a musical riot all around you as you are seated at the table, perhaps. But you will feel hands start to lift you up and out of your seat and bring you to the center of the tavern. "Show us how the devil died! Show us how the devil died!" they cry. And on the drums and fiddle play, and up the smoke and laughter rises. They are all cheering for you. "Show us! Show us! Show us!" How do you reenact the way you killed the Devil of High Rock?
Obviously, we have them move the puppet between us, as the devil itself was between us.
Who dealt the killing blow? Was it you both at once? Or was it 1, 2?
It was him. I pointed Corvus. He's the hero who felt the devil.
I I pull my knives out and I slash across the back of the devil. And I say, I couldn't have taken him down if you hadn't been uh, standing to him, daring him to try to overcome you with rage and infuriating him with every failure. You
Yeah,
were the one that faced him. I simply struck him down.
I just prayed, and I go into a prayerful pose, and don't not and I won't look at the devil, and all the time I hear from the murmuring villagers, liar, liar, liar. I pray, or pretend to pray. It's probably I just pretend to pray, but who knows? Maybe I am praying. Or trying to remember how to pray, basically. Yes, that's it. I try to remember how to pray, but all I can hear is this word, liar.
And for me, even though I'm faced the back of the puppet, the eyes are still there, and I keep slashing because I don't want to see those eyes.
I'm going to have you do the first risk roll of the game as you're
Cool.
slashing, because things can go wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, as you're reenacting this, so you can follow along with the reference sheet if you'd like. This is under risk roll. So before trying something risky, ask the GM and other players what could go wrong. So Sabine, what do we think will go wrong as Corvus is slashing at this puppet?
I mean, he could conceivably slash someone who's running around there. Maybe a little. Wait, let me check lines and veils before I suggest this. Um, mm, oh, maybe a little boy.
Ooh.
Yep.
I mean,
This is if it
Yes.
goes wrong, majorly wrong, for sure.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
So we build your dice pool now.
Okay.
Gathering your dice, take a light die if the task, you slashing at with your knives at the puppet, if the task is something you are skilled at because of your occupation or your background, or if you have useful equipment. So if you do want to say like your particular knives are what does it, that can totally happen, or
Mhm.
you would parlay me one of your skills. Even if you have multiple things to apply here for that first light die, you only get the one so
Okay.
far. Okay?
Yeah. I want to say that I do have knives that I'm very familiar with.
Great. Okay, that's cool. You're going to take a dark die because you're risking your mind or body.
Mhm.
In this case, most likely, you're probably going to be risking your mind if it goes wrong and you slash somebody that you did not mean to, for sure.
Mhm.
Okay? And you will take another light die to increase your odds of success if you
Mhm.
want by accepting a devil's bargain. The way the devil's bargains works is no matter what, regardless of how you roll, this will happen. This will happen in the fiction. So, Sabine, what do we think will happen no matter what? We will offer you devil's bargains, and you can pick from them.
Mhm.
You can take them all. Or if you don't want to do the second light die, then you wouldn't take any. All right, so those are your choices.
Okay.
So, what do we think? Devil's bargain.
could just come off a little clumsy, a little like this is not something he's actually used to. He's not actually a skilled fighter. That might be something, I don't know.
So maybe revealed as, exposed as, maybe?
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Um, and then let's see. No matter what, as you're slashing this, I think you'll see in one of the little children that's by the fire, or by the elder in the corner. I think one of them will turn around and you'll see it's your brother.
I am going to take the latter because it's truly terrible.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead and roll 2 light, 1 dark die under risk.
All right.
Okay. So a 5 is a success with a complication, but as always with trophy, you could always Risk it for a biscuit. Add another dark die and re-roll to see if you can better your score. So you would do 2 light and 2 dark if you choose.
As this is my first time playing the game, I would like to see what a success with a complication looks like.
Okay. All right. So you succeed, and well, tell me, like, what this looks like where you are not clumsy and you are reenacting how you took out the devil of High Rock
Um,
with your knives.
the slashes become more and more vicious until the puppet is cut down to the handle that's at the center of it, and the head even starts to lop off, which is when Corvus sees the small child once the puppet's head is out of the way. The eyes still turn to Corvus and sees the child that is surely their brother. And they freeze.
And so your success with your complication is, a condition. Your condition is, give me a second. You see the little boy, and he mouths the words, "When will there be more?" And that is your condition. When will there be more? Haju, I remembered that I owe you 2 conditions because of your ruin. So give me a second. One condition is liar, liar. And the other one is... It can't be. He's dead. And the way conditions work in Trophy Dark, they're more of flavor, flavoring your role play. They don't have any mechanical effect necessarily, but this is something that you carry through the end, and it affects you in however way you want to interpret it, especially as you descend into darkness with increasing ruin. If you increase ruin, which Corvus seems to be freaking stoic, but we'll see how long this lasts. I don't know. Okay.
There's always the possibility to reduce it when I backstab Corvus, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, when
Exactly.
you want the what now?
When
We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
One more.
One more. Sorry. And we love those moments. Okay. And Haju, you're praying in this case, yeah? Okay. Perhaps as part of the show, as Haju prays and Corvus is slashing at this effigy of the devil, the band itself, the one with the drum and the pipe, they do have a singer, a chanter, and they tell the tale, the sordid tale of the village, verse by verse. The good folk taken by the devil of High Rock, the begging of the bereaved, and what happened to all the adventurers they hired through the years to kill the devil. What horrible fates did the old heroes suffer, according to the band? What horrible fates did the old heroes suffer?
The next morning, after heroes had gone to slay the devil, their heads, and just their heads, and no blood to be found around them, were found in the center of town square, in a ring facing out. There were no footsteps. No one had heard or seen anything. They were just there.
And their faces were twisted with rage, or maybe ecstasy, but probably just rage. Occasionally you would find one of the heads in the forest on the way up. And it was almost considered lucky. Because, you know, when the heroes, and that's maybe not the, well, it's not the villagers don't explicitly say it, but when the devil took the heroes, they didn't take someone from the village.
Now, although only their heads remained, what is a possible battle scar received from the devil that seems similar to your own battle wound from your fight with the devil of High Rock?
There's a scratch along the bottom of the chin, like someone held your head still and raked their claw underneath it. And like you let them do it.
For the heads that were found in a ring, each of them suffered some kind of battle wound.
Oh, yeah.
What battle wound is similar to something that you have from your fight with the devil?
I think I have a slightly slashed ear. Or maybe not so slightly, actually. But it is a very intense, it seems almost intentional, right? Like somebody was trying to rip out not just something from inside the ear or something, like someone put a claw in there and then, yeah.
A shoddy final verse recounts the hunter's victory. Haju, how do they praise? How does the band and the villagers in song praise Corvus?
I think they will praise Corvus as being mighty and strong, brave, and yeah, mighty, strong, brave Corvus with a sword guided by the angel, his hand striking the final blow, but wise enough to wait for the opportunity. Yes, it's the final phrases. Corvus is not just strong and brave, he's also wise and crafty.
Why does this displease you so?
Me? Oh,
Yes.
I don't think Corvus is particularly crafty. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say anything about this, right? But I mean, clearly, Corvus is fine, strong, brave, sure, but crafty. Okay, they're villages, right? Also,
What do they know? They're only villagers. Corvus, how do they praise Haju?
Haju is noble and sure and certain in his righteousness and braver than the devil himself.
Why does this displease you so?
Certain and sure and righteous are none of them words that I would use to describe Haju. I have heard him cry himself to sleep for the indignity of being thrust out of the court. But he's a useful companion.
Reward. Each of you receives a heavy load of gold commensurate with your valor. The villagers give joyously, as if ridding themselves of a curse. First, you get the one heavy bag of woven burlap, thoroughly lined, and you see the gleam of gold inside. And perhaps, as you have this bag in your arms and you are moved from villager to villager, maybe you are receiving more gold, more trinkets, more valuables, as hands just throw them into your bag. Such a treat. However, I ask each of you, what is so repulsive about the coins that they give?
Coins and trinkets might be fine, but every time they ring against each other, there's this word again. And it's almost like, yeah, it's again, it's this man's voice. And I, I mean, it's valuable. It will help me, but still,
Every time Corvus puts his hand in the bag to see how much more there is than the last time, the coins feel like they are going to suck in his arm and eat it. Somehow they're coins, but he feels them pulling it in. They feel them pulling it in and pulls his hand back. But they still have to check to see how much more there is. Every few people.
Why isn't this enough for you? Why isn't this enough for either of you?
There's never enough. There's never enough to stave off hunger. There's never enough to stave off ruin. There's having and using and not having and needing to get again.
my enemies are far richer than I am, and be safe from them. I mean, this will make a dent, maybe, but and we have to share, right? So
Liar, liar. When will there be more? As the coins repulse you, and yet never enough. Please make a ruin roll.
again, okay. It's a 2.
Okay, must be my turn to get a 6. It's a 4.
Okay. All right. So Haju, like, tell me how you keep it together. And Corvus, tell me how you fall closer to darkness.
There's a panic in feeling the coins and running over how much that'll be and how much it'll last. And it's not enough, and it's not enough. And it doesn't matter that it's a huge sack of treasure. It's not enough. And Corvus starts to look around to see who else they can charm out of a little bit more, forgetting everything but feeding their need for safety, for security, feeding their hunger, and ignoring the little boy in the corner that looks so much like their little brother.
Your condition is feeding your hunger. Or feeding my hunger in this case. Sorry. Haju, how do you keep it together?
I think I get closer to panic until I see that Corvus is so enchanted with this, so fixated on this. And then through my head, I have, this is a weakness. You can use this. And I hate that I think this, but it keeps me, I guess it keeps me from panicking going further. Because I think that also it shows me that this is not, something is wrong here, right? So yeah.
Funny you should think that. The clamor peaks. The noise, the clamor, the cacophony of all of them cheering for you and excitedly stamping their feet and throwing more into your bags, and it's never enough. All of a sudden, everything stops, frozen in place. As a tapestry of misery and mystery forms in front of this scene in which warriors defy a formless malevolence as we close out of Ring 3. Ring 4, Pandemonium. The tavern ripples away like a reflection in mead. The tapestry drops away, revealing the plateau of High Rock. Biting wind races over the shrubs and boulders and howls triumphal through the treetops below. The pinnacle towers unconquered into the moonless sky. And as you look down, your gold becomes pebbles in your hands and in your bag. The villagers remove their human masks, each one, every one, including the children, to reveal the leering faces of the demonic phantoms. In hindsight, what uncanny aspects of the tavern gave away its unreal, illusory nature?
The floor didn't sound right. Didn't sound like feet on wood. It sounded like hooves on dirt.
Yeah, that there was always this slight dissonance. It was never quite, was a good imitation, but it was never quite right. It was the uncanny valley of sounds, if you want. And the songs, they always almost rhymed, but never really did.
All hell breaks loose. The phantoms swarm and pry and poke and tear and laugh. The puppet itself, even after being stabbed so violently, it springs to horrible life and stalks in the shadows behind. From these demonic phantoms, as they swirl and caper around you, "Why do you think you deserve mercy?" They peck and holler at you individually. "Why do you think you deserve the mercy of the devil? Tell us, tell us, tell us."
I only ever did what I had to do to survive and to eat and to survive. I never meant any harm. I never meant to hurt anybody. I didn't mean to leave him behind for so long. I just was trying. I did anything I could to survive.
I was scared. This Baron, he hated me, I think. And then I only told a little lie. I didn't mean for it to go so far. It was the others. And
So it wasn't.
he was not a good man. He was not a good man, I think.
So it wasn't your fault, was it?
Oh,
It was that one. It was him that caused it all. And you only needed to survive. You were under circumstance and toil. You will need to confirm and convince the devil that you deserve mercy.
Visions creep into sight. Paths to escape. Hiding spots from the phantom's eyes. All promise safety and freedom. You cannot fight the monstrosities here. To do so means instant death. But you can try to escape. You can try to hide. Do you?
uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay. So, each of you can make a risk roll, and we will build them individually. Let's start with Haju. So Haju, again, you can see some paths to escape. You can see some hiding spots here on the plateau. Maybe some scrub, maybe some rocks. But how will you try and escape?
I will, well, I think I think maybe I'll start. Can I? I don't know if this will work, but I will try it. I will try to swallow down the admission of guilt that I just made or made the whole time, right? Because I have a ritual and I'm a priest, so the sisters surely will help me. And
That's
then
right.
I think they will, maybe they will ignore me because I'm not guilty, right?
We'll see.
Clearly, yeah. So I need a dark die, right? Because this is a ritual.
Yes, you do.
And I get a white die because I am proficient with rituals.
Yes,
That's
you
also
do.
Correct.
Yes. But let
And
me
I
ask
get
Corvus, what do we think will happen if this goes really wrong?
Haju will be locked in place and have to sing of every lie they've ever told.
Ooh.
can take a while.
Enough time for me to escape.
Right. You just have to be faster,
Well
that's
done.
all.
Well done.
Right. Okay. So one light die, one dark die. Now, second light die to increase odds of success is by accepting a devil's bargain. Corvus, what do we think we think will happen no matter what?
I think maybe you have an idea, Meg?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
It's your bargain. I don't think you get to suggest things. I could be wrong.
No, I don't get to say it's you who has no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Oh, I know.
Please,
So
please.
well, this is mine, but
Yeah.
no matter what, I think the guy that you thought was dead is among this fine company.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah, that's good.
I love it. Yes. Yes, definitely. I'm taking that. And do I take another dark die because I am risking my life and
Oh no,
mental
no, I mean
health?
like it remains like just one dark die
Okay,
for
that's
the risk
fine.
and the ritual. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Okay,
two light die, one dark die to start.
okay, that's fine. I roll that and we'll see where it goes. Wow, I've got 2 6s on my light dice. This works swimmingly.
This works great. Okay.
Yes,
What's your dark die?
yes. And my dark die is a 4.
Okay. All right. Since it matches your current ruin, you do not
Mm,
go up. So, well, shoot. Like you got narrative
mm.
control. Tell me how you succeed in you know, um, swallowing the truth. Like what happens? What does this look like in first off in like enacting your ritual, and what does this mean?
I think what I will, yes, I will appeal to the Sister of Lies, Mentira. And okay, I'm not very
No, no, it's beautiful. It makes me happy.
okay. So I will apply to the Sister of Lies, Mentira, to help me take back what I admitted. And then I will start speaking very fast, but backwards. Just everything that I've said, I will just say it backwards.
Oh man, amazing.
And it will end with rail, rail, rail.
Oh, amazing. Ha ha. Oh man. Uh, well, this is a small storm of words and thoughts that just seem to be turning it, I guess, into a small tornado that is centered on you as you open your mouth and take it in. That leaves you pretty clean at the moment. Corvus, your risk roll, your turn. How do you want to escape or hide?
Escape.
Okay.
Run. Run without looking back. Run like the devil himself was on my footsteps. And I am proficient at escape.
Okay. Um, that's one light die.
Mhm.
Dark die for risking your body.
Yes.
That's one. But before we continue onward, Haji, what do we think will happen if this goes way wrong?
I think the same thing that happened when we started to go up the mountain. Fall takes probably a pratfall and twists his ankle and maybe cuts himself on his knife. Themselves, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Second light die for accepting a devil's bargain. What do we think will happen no matter what?
I mean, we can go the same way that we went with Haju and just have the little brother still be among these monstrosities.
The one spirit that didn't take off a mask, maybe.
Yeah,
Oof.
yeah.
Mhm.
Hold on, let me see. Um,
Maybe we'll cry out, "Will there be more?" as you run.
mm, right. I think maybe as you run, you are passing through such a strange place or dimension that you will not remember, and therefore you will have no stories to tell.
I'm gonna take both.
Okay. Of
I
course. You
I
still only get the one light die,
I
the
know,
second
but
light die.
I like the idea of nothing ringing in their ears, but the sound of will there be more?
Yep. That sounds good. Okay. So two light, one dark, please, for your
Okay, so I
ritual.
rolled a 5, 3, and a dark 5.
Okay.
So my ruin does.
Yeah. So in the case of ties for light and dark, dark is always high. So basically your ruin goes up yet again.
Okay.
But you do succeed with a complication. Please tell me how you, as you're trying to make your escape, you succeed in, like, getting further down, perhaps away from the plateau, but yet, you know, you are falling deeper into the darkness still.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how that looks.
They are lashing out blindly at anything that approaches: a tree, a shrub, a demon. It doesn't matter. Running pell-mell towards something that's hopefully safety.
I think as you make your escape, you will feel a hand go into yours, and somehow this little child, this little boy, is keeping up. And in your passage, quick and swift and panicked as it might be, you always hear him say, even without seeing him say it, you always hear, "When will there be more?" And you can't necessarily remember who this child is.
But my heart hurts to hear it. It makes me want to run faster.
Keep on going. Yep.
I get a condition for my ruin going up, yes?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Never free. How are your ways of hiding and escaping so terribly unsafe?
Still in the middle of all these demons and this guy staring at me.
I'm running essentially blind. Eyes half closed against the pain and the wind, and running alongside a mountain, on top of a mountain, down a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the best way to traverse down a mountain as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I think the camera will, like, kind of lift as if there's a drone up ahead or above. And for both of you, regardless of whether you're hiding or you are running, in your pathway or around your environs, there is an epitaph on a wayside shrine to forgotten gods, surrounded by so many other tales as we exit out of Ring 4, hearing, "Where, oh, where are you hiding?" The phantoms call in sing-song voices. Ring 5, the pinnacle. The lofty pinnacle of high rock unfurls as the devil itself stretches his wings and looses a rolling thunder of laughter. While his flock cackle and dance rapturously before him. The phantoms all scream the same thing at once. "How did the devil of High Rock kill you?" How did the devil of High Rock kill you?
I took one look at him and I ran off the mountain in terrible fear. I hope I was dead by the time I hit the level ground.
The devil of High Rock told me a story. story so horrible that my hands scratched up my hair, that my ears started to bleed, and finally my heart stopped.
The Devil of High Rock speaks in tombstone tongue. There is one good soul between you. One soul I must let free. Being a devil, I know little of good. Tell me, who among you is the least evil? Who should escape my prison of illusions?
It should be I. I should escape. I started doing wrong to feed my brother, to feed myself, and I didn't mean to leave him alone so long that he wouldn't have anything. And all I've tried to do is I've not tried to do harm. I've just tried to live. I've not done anything but part people from their money and enough that they had plenty. I should escape. You should let me free.
The child should escape. The little boy. He should escape. Because he's the only one who isn't a liar. Yeah, it's honest in his desires.
I think as you say that, Corvus turns to look at the little boy in absolute horror. Doesn't know if this is a devil or a demon, doesn't know if they've just tried to save their own skin at the behest of this child, doesn't know what's real and what isn't, but is horrified.
What are the sins of your compatriot? Tell me what you know. Tell me why you should be the one to go free.
I would like to use a ritual.
Okay.
The Telltale Heart. Corvus opens the shirt and rakes fingers across their chest until blood is drawn right over where their heart is and sucks it off their fingers and stares at Haju and starts to mutter about poisonings and betrayal and fear and prank and and pettiness and in bribery and every little thing that Haju has ever done to twist the knife in his enemies and to hurt those that he thinks will hurt him. And every ill thought that Haju has thought and every injustice Haju has considered.
Now, the interesting part about this is the fact that Haju has already activated his ritual.
Oh,
so
yeah.
all the truths that he has said
They got
has
swallowed.
now been swallowed. So
there is a blank noise.
Or would this be if it works, make him regurgitate it? So I think this is about stakes. So this could lead in, instead of like being just a plain old risk roll, I think this could be the contest roll.
Oh yes, I love that.
Yes.
Okay. So
yes,
the way this works, contest roll is where The treasure hunters act against each other. They must agree on what's at stake. All right, so both of you are participating because you're like, you want to be the one to, you know,
Mhm.
leave maybe. Um, and so the stakes are Corvus pulls off the ritual and then gets Haju to admit to all the things that he had swallowed, what they had swallowed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, you know, Haju, are you going to try and, well,
Keep it in.
okay.
I
All
Keep
right.
it
think if
in.
it fails, I open my mouth and nothing comes out at all.
Right.
And it looks like I'm just gasping for words and have none.
Okay. But I mean, like, are you, Haju, taking any particular action against
Mm.
Corvus?
Hmm. I don't know. I'm still staring at this person that whose death I caused. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still a little. He's still alive. But I think I will. Oh, I will stare at Corvus. I will look at him when he does that, and I will look at the devil and will say, "Liar," at Corvus.
Okay. All right.
I love that. I love that.
I love it too. All right, so the way it starts is each competing player will take a light die if you have a skill or equipment that makes this contest easier for you. All right,
Rituals.
rituals.
Testimony.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Perfect.
first light die. Now, for each point of ruin that you have, you're going to add a light die. So each of you will have total of 5 light die to play with. Okay.
Okay.
So you can start loading that into the contest roll, into the trophy dice roller, or just have 5 light die handy physically. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, first dark die is if the contest itself is inherently deadly or dangerous. Yes, because it's like whomever's like gonna be giving it up is gonna be like, you know, the one that's gonna be hosed for the devil.
Mhm.
Now, you can take as many additional dark die as you are willing to risk, but just remember that for every dark die that shows up as a 1, for every dark die that shows up as a 1, you are adding another point of ruin to your current total. So be careful. Think about how you'd like to do this, okay?
So,
You don't have to tell each other like what you're rolling, but I mean like for the dark die at least. But I mean, yeah, we know that you're starting off with 5 light die and then as many dark die as you want to hold. The way it works is it's like it's still the same thing where 6s are are high. If
mhm.
there's a case of a tie, then we go down to 5s.
Mhm.
And if that's still a tie, then we go down to 4s until there is a clear winner.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how it goes. But again, every dark die coming up as a 1 in a contest roll will increase your ruin.
Okay.
Right? So go ahead
Oh,
and
I
load
love
up
this. I love this
5.
mechanism.
I know.
Yeah.
I love this too. 5 light and then however many dark you want to do. You don't have to say. Just let me know when you're ready with your numbers.
I have all the dice.
Okay. So 3, 2, 1, roll.
Sorry, I already pressed the button.
Sorry.
Yes.
Ugh.
Okay. This is not great.
Yeah. Cool. Good. That makes me happy.
I mean, I rolled 2 ones on my dark dice, so.
Oh no, I rolled a 1 on my
Oh.
dark die.
Okay, well you go
Oh,
up to 5, but then that means that.
I go to 6.
Oh shit.
Yes. I mean, I hope this would happen, so.
I mean, this is a beautiful time for it to happen.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. So
exactly.
basically, I mean, like according to okay. Did you get any? Just out of curiosity, Sabine, did you get any 6s or
I have a
5s?
6, yes. I have a 6
Okay.
and a 5 and a 4 and a 3 and a 2 and no, it's three
Okay.
threes.
Okay. So basically, what's here? Okay, this is what makes it interesting, right? So in mechanics, Haju wins,
Yes.
but also loses because it's like they fall into the depths of darkness because of the higher of the 6 ruin.
Uh-huh.
See,
Um,
that's
Now
perfect. It's beautiful.
yeah, you
Sorry.
no, it's fine. You Corvus survive because you only got up to 5 ruin. However, regardless of
I,
surviving, you are forever changed by your experience. So,
mhm.
um, like at this very moment, like tell me how. Oh my god.
Like, I'm not convinced that the devil's going to let me go just
Yeah.
We'll
because
see.
this one
We'll
fell
see.
into. Okay.
Well, I mean, like for right now, I mean, like,
Um,
what we're succeeding in doing. So,
okay, cool. Sorry.
Haju, tell me how you succeed in not allowing Corvus to pull the truth out of you, but yet somehow you have increased your ruins so far as to be far gone.
I think liar, as I said to Corvus, is the last word that Haju says, and then just looks at the devil, gives kind of looks at this person that whose death he caused and just walks over to him and like, okay, do what you want, basically. And if nothing happens, then he'll just sit down and become part of this crew. These devils that cavort around the master, Daddy Devil. So that's where he belongs. But he keeps the words, the truth to himself. He cannot speak the truth ever again. Or anything else.
I suppose, given this, submission, capitulation, you,
As he reaches out a single clawed finger at you, Corvus.
you have one. Leave before I change my mind.
And then a great snap as the wings like open up even further and block out any light from the sky.
Runs. If there is a person clinging to him, they cannot tell, and runs.
So endeth Ring 5. Now, we have epilogues. You do not implicate the other character. You would merely tell us if you have survived, what has happened to you in the distant or near future, and how you are forever changed by your experience. If you have not survived, or something has happened that you are lost, you can describe your current situation, wherever in time that may be, or how the world has moved on even after your passing. Your choice. Do you need a few minutes? Would you like a 5-minute break before you do epilogues?
I'm good whenever, Sabine.
I'm good too.
Okay. All right, whomever wants to go first.
Corvus runs. They run their shoes off. They run back to a town they used to live in long ago with the little boy. And they stayed there, addled, broken, and most often sitting on a sitting on the floor of a bridge, on the walkway of the bridge, holding out a small mug. The only word they can say is more.
As for Haju, I think we can see a young noble with a sword and some armor, some sort of knight, striding up the mountain with purpose in his eyes and fervor in his step, and he looks a little like that man that Haju got killed. And then when he's confronted by the devil, no, I think when he's confronted by the devil, and the devil asks him like, "Why should I let you go? Why should I show you mercy?" And then that young man says, "I am the son of a powerful man, no, of a good man who died innocently, and I'm here to find some, and I'm here to protect those who can protect themselves, and I will fight you, devil." And then you just hear from the background somewhere this voice that says, "Liar."
Amazing. Ah, and that is the end of Devil of High Rock. Congrats.
I
Whoa.
love this. I love this so much.
That was fun. Me
Very cool.
too.
I loved setting up the very obvious lies
Mm-hmm.
to be torn down later. It
Yeah.
just,
It's great.
Yeah. That was that.
This is a fun one. Mm-hmm.
yes,
The
you did
question.
amazing. Your
The
creepy
questions.
voices. Sorry, Sabine, go on.
No, go
Stars
ahead.
and wishes. I mean, like, you know, whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the questions. They were really good. The especially the one on what do they praise about your companion, or why do you hate that? That was really good.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
plenty of good questions in this
Mhm.
particular incursion. This is really great.
Yeah.
I have no wishes, only stars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the contrast between both the characters. I loved how just the way you whisper liar. I love your creepy voices, Mads. I loved the way this was set up. And okay, I really like Trophy Dark. I'm gonna have to play this more.
Always up to run more.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's a unique one. It's actually shorter than other ones. Um, Not as what would be considered robust, but that's okay because there's plenty to find out from each of the players. And imagine playing this with more than just two people.
Yeah.
There's a lot to mine from the lies and from the actual truth. So um, this was a little bit gentler in terms of like not as many risk rolls, but I still was able to gather a lot of ruin on you too. So that was awesome. Yeah, so I do enjoy this a lot. I will need to run the other incursions that are in this particular collection because I do like Speak the Skies writing. Can't wait to do more of this. That's my wish, as always. And I love the characters. I mean, the characters were just so rich, and again, like because you guys started off so, yeah, it was like it was because of him or them, and it was because of them, and it was just so wonderful. Yeah, I was wondering how fast that was gonna descend into nope. Which
Pretty
is the beauty of
quickly.
Trophy Dark.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, stars. My star would be go to both of you. Matt, I love playing trophy with you. You're an amazing trophy GM. You're amazing GM anyway. But yeah, I love the voices, and Meg, that was a really fun character, and you had such great ideas, and then this little boy that was just like, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ending, that was just, yeah, poor Corvus.
Poor Haju too.
Poor Haju.
Oh my
Wow.
Poor
God.
Haju. I at
Oh.
least get to die eventually. You're stuck like that forever.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's this reverse trophy thing,
Mhm.
isn't there?
Yeah,
So,
Candlelight.
candlelight. So maybe Haju would be a good. I thought Haju might be a good candidate for that. Actually,
Redemption, absolutely.
no.
Like going backwards. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be interesting to get together like a few like trophy non-survivors or spirits or whatever, and then have them go backwards and go into Candlelight and see if they can redeem themselves. Yeah, that's something that I'd have to collect from a whole bunch of different games. That would be majorly awesome though.
That'd be cool.
For sure. But I'm glad you had a fun time with your first Trophy Dark, and
Very
again,
much so.
hopefully we'll be able to run some more. I will eventually do more Last Night on Earth, or I'll switch to Devil of High Rock because I really do enjoy this incursion. It's got a lot compacted into it and just some fun questions all around. I'm just like, I
Yeah.
really enjoy that for that reason, you know,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
you guys create the horror, which is what I enjoy the most of playing Trophy, is because it does like very little to do with me. It has more of like, what are you saying is going to horrify you? And that's what makes it wonderful, for
I mean,
sure.
the creepy voices did help.
Oh, you did.
Okay.
Oh, all the creepy voices.
Yes.
Thank you. I got more.
And you and you have this lyrical tone of voice when you describe these horrible things that kind of, yeah, makes you want to lean into it.
Hmm.
Ooh,
Yeah,
excuse me.
that's another good thing about this game too. Is like, the ability to just lean in and double down on all the horrible things because, again, like I said, Trophy Dark, you're not great people. You're just making your way through this particular thing, right? Whatever it is. And I love the bleak nature of it. I mean, just the capacity of all of the characters to be like shits in their own way, and then like, what's their consequence? What is, like, what is it? Truly the fuck around and find out problem. So, and that
There's a freedom in the shitty characters and in playing to lose.
it really
Mhm.
is. There's
Yeah.
so much freedom in it. I love that for this
Mhm.
game. That's why I enjoy running it so much. Trophy Gold, I'm starting to get more used to the mechanics and like running it. That's more desperate. Like you have to try and get yourself out of debt because of all the
Mm.
stuff that you're bringing in to do the adventure. You have to pay that shit off.
Man, that just feels too real.
Yeah, but there's different incursions for it, modern day as well as the core trophy gold fantasy ones. So
Mhm.
I've run several different ones, and I'm still going to enjoy like running some more. So, but different flavors for
Yeah.
sure. Um, yeah, I mean, enjoyed myself immensely. I'm glad that you guys were willing enough to let me run this again for you, and
Oh, yeah.
I think it fits really well in a one-shot format.
Mhm.
Normally Dark, Trophy Dark, I like to let characters breathe, especially if I have a table of 4, and then I'll run it as a 4-shot. I mean, a 2-shot, sorry.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
2-shot. But I mean, this one, two of you, easily
Mhm.
done in
Yeah.
a convention amount of time, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
For
mean,
sure.
the fewer players you have, the shorter the trophy
Hmm.
incursions are because
Yeah.
you spend a lot of time with each character.
Hmm. Yeah.
But it
Um,
didn't feel lacking. And
no,
I've not
no,
played in a
no.
two-player game before, and this was beautifully rich.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you can play it. You can play a lot of games with just 2 players if both players are active. But if you have one of the players is sitting at the table like a potato,
Yeah. And some games are made for, let's say, more witty repartee and,
Hmm.
things
mm,
that you can do two-player, but works better when you're at 3 or 4 or
yeah,
5.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yes,
But
trophy with 3 has the advantage that you can have shifting alliances between the characters, which is
Mhm.
always nice because it will never last.
no,
Mhm.
no. I mean, it just was such a battle royale kind of moment because it's like, oh, besties, sort of, kind of, no, by
Hmm.
the end.
Yeah,
And I love that. Oh my God, you guys just like did such a great job with it. And I think the way it descended again was just really rich because I didn't even know whether you guys were half lying to me or not. I mean, like, it's like everything's all great, it's all happy and everything, but it wasn't until like we got to the middle that I'm like, oh no, they don't like each other at this point. And that is the beauty of this. So yeah, I'm very glad to like, just keep an eye out. Like, hopefully you're able to engage in more trophy with me. Like, like both of you, either of you,
Yes, please.
because again, yeah, I just like really love running this game. Oh my gosh, so many different ones, so many
I'll
different
keep an
versions.
eye out for you putting Last Night on Earth up again if you were
Yeah,
gonna.
I like I have one that's gonna be running on a weekend, but I mean like that already has like I think enough players, and then
Mm.
I will try to run this again because I'm trying to again get more practice with it, but I won't get any practice if I don't run it more. So yeah, and then like there's some other trophy stuff that I want to try and run as a one shot or two shot, depending on timing. But again, timing's just really awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yes,
start.
it is. It is. If it were in a holiday this day now,
Mhm.
I can't usually play until 4 a.m. in the morning. That's not really.
Mhm.
I mean, other people go to Gauntlet coffee mornings at that time, but
Mhm.
I come at 4 a.m. usually from the day before.
Mhm.
Amazing, amazing.
4 a.m. is a time that I should not be seeing for
Well,
me.
I
I
am a night
unfortunately see
owl.
it all too much. Yeah.
Mm.
What can I say? I am a night owl.
Eh.
Yeah.
And it is not something that I actually prefer to
Mhm.
do, but for a game with Mats, I mean, come on.
I
You
understand
guys
this,
are
yes.
wonderful. You guys are wonderful. I swear. The first game that I got to be in with Sabine running it was at a shared hearth, like open gaming
Mhm.
event, and it was Our Haunt. Oh my God, that game!
Oh,
Holy
yes,
crap!
that is a cool
Oh, so
game.
beautiful.
I want to
So
play that again.
yeah, me too. I'm trying to figure out a time or
Mhm.
whatever to do it, but it's just hard because I mean I like the game, but I mean
Mhm.
like some games like you can like as a player, but then like like when you have to run it, it's like a different kind of thing. I
It's
mean I
a
know you'd
it's a
only facilitate it. I know that
Mhm.
like it's a facilitation thing,
Mhm.
but like for the fact that we were playing it as a one shot, but then it has that capacity of continuing onward
Yeah.
until I forget what the end game part of it was, but I mean
I
like
don't know that there was an end game part
I
actually.
don't remember.
I've run it as a monthly,
Hmm.
and um, we went up against the thing in the wall. That was the story arc, and we
Okay.
finished it, and that was then the month was over. But we could have continued.
Yeah. I mean like again, I think it has different ways of play, and that's like I said, I had only done it once with the one shot, and I would be eager to do it again. Again, timing, scheduling, that's always how it works with us.
Mm,
But yeah, I mean
yeah.
like always up for introducing people to Trophy and continuing on with their journey of Trophy because there's so much stuff in here.
Mm.
So or like around for third party material. So
Mhm.
yes, it was a pleasure as always to play with you two again.
Very
Um
much.
and I'm glad that you were able to play in this game together because it was so
Yes.
good.
It was a delight, and I look forward to playing with you again, Sabine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Me too. Me too.
A pleasure. Get some sleep, Sabine,
Yes, I
please.
will. I will. I will.
I
All
will
right.
also even, but
Yes,
yes.
me
Yes.
too. All
Yeah.
right.
Night,
Pleasant
y'all.
dreams to all of you
You too.
of mountains and peaks and pinnacles and
And the
Happy
and
long
gaming.
fall
and
down.
happy
Yeah.
villagers who are
Oh my
celebrating your
God.
great victory over the devil of
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Sure,
Pinnacle.
right? Happy gaming to you both until we
Yes.
meet again. And
Yeah.
yeah, see
Hopefully
you
soon.
soon.
See
Bye.
Hopefully.
you. Bye.
Bye.